Who's the best quarterback in the UFL? Welcome back to Defending Football. Thank you guys so much for watching. Today we're going to be doing the top 10 quarterbacks in the UFL, obviously, all my opinion. This is my personal list of the top 10 in the UFL in the 2025 season. So let me know down below what you agree with and what you disagree with. And if you love spring football, like the video. Alright, here we go. Number 10, Max Duggan. Now I would go over his stats, but he basically has no pro stats. So you're just going to have to take my word on this one. Obviously, at number 10, that means he would not be a starting quarterback in an 8-team league. He is going to probably be the starter for the St. Louis Battlehawks. I put him at 10 because I literally don't know where he's going to go. I can't tell if he's going to be a great quarterback or a stinker quarterback. He's very boom or bust, but from a lot of the tape that I've seen, he doesn't look super impressive to me. But he is very athletic, and that is something the UFL likes. Considering he's going into St. Louis with a lot of good passing options and a solid run game, he could become one of the top 3 best quarterbacks in the league, or he could literally never be seen again. Number 9, we have Quinten Dormady. Obviously, he's played spring football about 2 years now, and in the 2024 season, he played about 7 games with injuries and stuff like that. 1,206 yards, 59.9% completion percentage, 6 touchdowns, but 6 picks, and 54 rushing yards. He played for the San Antonio Brahmas, which is a very pass-heavy scheme. He obviously is with the Showboats now, and maybe with a new OC, they could put his skill set to work. He is a serviceable quarterback in the UFL. Number 8, we have Kellen Mond. Yeah, you remember that guy? He's in the UFL now, playing for the San Antonio Brahmas this year. The last time he has any stats in the NFL was for the Vikings, and he literally only threw 3 passes that year. So he basically has no stats as well. Mond and Duggan are the only dudes without really any stats on this list, so we kind of just got to go by the eye test. He obviously has some preseason stats, but there's really not much to go off of there either. Same with Max. So just going off the tape, he is a very talented quarterback, and it's also pretty much a wild card. I'm just betting on the fact that San Antonio has a good infrastructure there with a great offensive coordinator, and I think they can get the best out of Kellen Mond. I wouldn't be surprised if Kellen Mond ends up being one of the better quarterbacks. I don't see him falling as low as Max Duggan potentially could. Next up is another wild card, kind of. Number 7, Anthony Brown. Signed with the Houston Roughnecks. Now, we do have a little bit of stats with him. He played for the Ravens for a little bit. About 2 games played. 302 yards, 44.9% completion percentage. No touchdowns, 2 picks, and -5 rushing yards. Obviously, that's not great, but he's going against NFL starters there. Now, from the tape that I've seen, this guy is very athletic, and I think he can honestly be a very good quarterback in this league. It's the opposite with Mond and Duggan, where I think the Roughnecks might actually hold him back. Coaching has been a problem for the Roughnecks, but if Anthony Brown can take the responsibility of the team on his shoulders, he may be able to elevate the entire team. I'm very excited and intrigued to see these new quarterbacks in the league, but for now, I really like my proven spring football guys, but don't be surprised if he climbs the rankings. Number 6, we have E.J. Perry, the newest Showboat. He was literally released by the Panthers and instantly picked up by the Boats, which I'm kind of mad because I wanted DC to pick him up. But E.J. Perry is just a solid quarterback. For whatever reason, I love this quarterback. He played 4 games last year, 664 yards, 61.8% completion percentage, only 2 touchdowns to 3 picks, but 151 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground. Surprisingly mobile quarterback is E.J. Perry, but I feel like he's just a good, calm presence. And I think he's clearly the starter for the Boats, in my opinion. I do love Dormady, but E.J. Perry, I think he's just a more solid option. Number 5, you have the Stallions quarterback, Matt Corral. Now, he did have a tough 2024 season because he didn't get majority starts, as Adrian Martinez literally won MVP and won the championship for the team. But do not be fooled. Matt Corral played very, very well in his time with the Birmingham Stallions. It was just a lack of sample size that didn't make him one of the best quarterbacks in the league statistically. About 4 games played, 343 yards, 58.1% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, and 104 rushing yards. Now, those stats can be a little deceiving because if you watch the games, he was under control of the offense when he was out there. A great field general, and I think one of the better top 5, obviously, quarterbacks in the UFL. If he went to many of the other teams, he is starting. But there's one more quarterback that the Stallions have that we'll go over later. Number 4 is Bryce Perkins. Where did he come from? About 5 games played last year for the Michigan Panthers, and he looked stunning. 343 yards, 78.9% completion percentage is insane. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception, 181 yards on the ground, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Bryce Perkins has looked fantastic. The only problem is he is coming off an injury, and that was his main problem in 2024. If Perkins plays in the playoffs this year, do the Stallions even make the championship? I don't know. But I'm excited to see how this guy does this year. Very excited. Let me know what you guys think about Bryce Perkins down below. Number 3 is good old trustworthy Jordan Ta'amu. Look, I know the Defenders had a down year. They went 4-6, but he did put up some pretty good stats. The main problem with the Defenders, as you know, I'm a Defenders fan, we couldn't run the ball. So pretty much everything was on his shoulders. And that is probably not what we're going to see this year with Abram Smith returning. So last year, 10 games played, 1,854 yards, 57.5% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, but 9 picks was the problem, plus 203 rushing yards and a touchdown on the ground. You can't really discount what Jordan Ta'amu can bring to your team. He is a very solid spring football option. Some people are really disrespecting Ta'amu at this point, and I know I've been down on him a little bit, but to be honest, if we look at the whole body of work, he is a good quarterback. He just needs pieces around him to make him great. Number 2 is the Stallions' favorite quarterback, most likely, coming back, Alex McGough. Now, the reason he's not number 1 is because he hasn't played spring football in a little bit. So we'll have to see how he plays in a joined spring football league, as he won 2 championships in the USFL in pretty dominant fashion as well. So I'm putting him at 2 for respect for what he's done, and he could obviously be number 1, but we're going to see. 10 games played in 2023, 2,105 yards, 67.4% completion, 20 touchdowns to just 5 picks, 403 rushing yards, and 5 rushing touchdowns. This guy is an absolute monster on the field, and I cannot wait to see how he plays in the UFL. One of the best players in spring football history. I mean, he might be better than PJ Walker. I don't know. We only got 5 games of PJ Walker, so we don't know what we're going to see out of Alex McGough. He's been out of spring football for a minute, but you can't discount what he did when he was here. Number 1, the Spring King, Luis Perez. Come on, guys. Luis Perez is the best quarterback in spring football right now. This guy is insanely good, and you got to give him his props. Probably one of my favorite spring football players of all time. Been following him since the Birmingham Iron days. Dude has got to be a spring football Hall of Famer. 10 games played last year, 2,310 yards, 67% completion, 18 touchdowns to 4 picks, and he doesn't run too much. But man, in the pocket, this guy is deadly. He loves to terrorize DC for some reason. I don't know if there's really a debate on Luis Perez being the best quarterback or not. It's pretty obvious he's the best quarterback in the league. So that is my number 1 pick. Luis Perez is the guy this year. Let's see if a defense can help him out. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know down below what you think about the list and what you would change. So I'm going to get out of here. And for the love of football, defend football, baby.